Sometimes the scariest things caught on camera aren't from movies. They're real. From silent shadows to figures that shouldn't exist, these 10 terrifying clips were recorded by ordinary people, and what they captured has no clear explanation. One of them even shows a towering giant filmed in Russia. And no, it wasn't a costume. Number 10. It looked like just a group of women celebrating a birthday, until someone zoomed in on the photo. The image, shared on Instagram, shows a cheerful gathering near a lake. But in the corner of the picture, something chilling appears. The faint figure of a child, standing beside one of the women. The person who posted the photo swears there were no children present, and even captured a screen recording from her iPhone's live photo feature. Strangely, the phone's motion sensor detects movement in every face, except the boy's. No one remembers seeing him. No one knows who he is. And yet, his small face is clearly visible in the shot. Was it a glitch, a prank, or did something else slip into the frame just for a moment? Number 9, a golden retriever, playing alone in the hallway. But when you look closely, it's not really alone. This footage was captured by a home security camera. At first, nothing seems unusual, until a ball suddenly rolls across the floor on its own. The dog immediately reacts, running toward it. But then something even stranger happens. The golden begins wagging its tail and acting excited, as if someone is there. It jumps, spins, and stares at an empty spot in the room, clearly interacting with something. But on camera, there's no one. No shadow, no sound, no trick of light. Just the dog, happily playing with what appears to be thin air. The family, after reviewing the footage, packed up and left the house that same night. They claimed they had felt cold spots and heard whispers before. But this was the final proof that something invisible was living with them? A playful ghost? Or a presence only animals can see? Whatever it was, the dog definitely saw it. And the camera didn't lie. Number 8. It was past midnight in the quiet town of Albardón, Argentina. Two friends were walking down a dimly lit street when they noticed something, or someone, inside an abandoned house. They pulled out their phone and started recording. Through a window, they captured the faint image of a child standing completely still, deep inside the dark structure. The house was supposed to be empty. No lights, no access, no reason for anyone, let alone a child, to be there at that hour. The figure didn't move, it didn't run, it just stared. Locals say the house had been sealed off for years and that no child lives nearby. Yet the video clearly shows a small silhouette, partially lit by the flashlight, standing just behind the glass. Some believe it's just a prank or a hoax, but others are convinced it's a spirit, a child who never left the place where something terrible happened. And the fact that no one ever came forward to explain the video only makes it worse. Number 7. Hospitals are already unsettling, but this footage took things to another level. Captured by a security camera in a hospital courtyard somewhere in Latin America, the clip shows a quiet night scene. An ambulance is parked with its back door wide open. No one's around, at least no one visible. Then, without warning, the heavy door slams shut with force. No people, no wind, no logical reason. Just a loud metallic bang, as if something or someone was inside. Seconds later, the door slowly swings open again, creaking into place like it had never moved. The person reviewing the footage confirmed there was no wind that night, no staff near the ambulance, and no mechanical fault in the door. Some say it's just coincidence. Others think it's residual energy, a ghost from a patient who didn't make it. But there's something chilling about the silence before and after the event, as if the hospital itself was holding its breath. Number 6. She was just filming a routine night in the fields until something passed right behind her. The video was uploaded to Instagram by a young woman who works picking flowers at night to support her family. Wanting to share her work, she set up her phone and began recording. At first, everything seems calm, but then a pale shadow crosses the background, silent, fast, and human-shaped. She didn't notice it at the time. It was only after uploading the clip that followers began commenting. "Who's that walking behind you?" When she reviewed the footage, her face turned pale. The shadow didn't resemble any of her co-workers. In fact, she had been completely alone in that field. Some claimed it was just a lighting trick, or maybe an animal, but the way the figure moves, almost like it's gliding, feels off, too smooth, too deliberate. Was it something paranormal? A ghost wandering the fields? Or just a trick of the night? Whatever it was, she never filmed there again. Number 5. He was driving through the Australian Outback when something appeared by the side of the road. This footage was recorded by a car's dash cam during a late-night drive along a remote highway. At first, it's just darkness and empty asphalt, but then a pale figure appears, standing completely still near the shoulder. It doesn't wave, it doesn't move, it just stands there. The driver didn't even notice until reviewing the footage later. But when he paused the video, what he saw gave him chills. A woman-like figure, dressed in white, head down, motionless. Many online believe it's a ghost, the spirit of someone who may have died on that stretch of road. A soul trapped, appearing only to those passing by alone at night. There are no lights, no towns, no explanations. Just silence and the haunting image of someone who shouldn't be there. And the scariest part, she seems to be waiting. Number 4. In the remote forests of Western Russia, there's a legend whispered among villagers. They speak of a giant, taller than any man, who walks the roads in silence. Some say he appears before disasters. Others believe he's a guardian, or a warning. Then came the video. Filmed just past midnight, the clip shows a solitary figure walking down a rural road, but something feels off. Until you realize the man is towering, not just tall, unnaturally tall. Estimated at over 4 meters, he moves slowly, deliberately, with limbs that seem too long for a human body. The person who filmed it stayed silent. No one approached the figure, and when the clip spread online, skeptics claimed it was a hoax, but no one could explain the proportions. No costume seams, no stilts, no distortion. Just a massive humanoid shape disappearing into the night fog. And since then, similar sightings have been reported, always near the same forests. Whatever this thing is, it walks like a man, but it isn't one. Number 3. In Indonesia, a house was burning, and someone decided to film it. What they captured still terrifies the internet. The fire was already raging when a bystander pulled out their phone. Flames crackled, smoke filled the air, and then something moved inside the fire. A dark figure passed between the flames, quick but unmistakable. A human-shaped shadow walking through the inferno. Locals immediately connected it to an old legend, a witch who, according to stories, could walk through fire untouched. They believe she cursed the house, and this was her sign. The footage is raw and chaotic, but the figure is real. Not a trick of smoke, not a person in protective gear. No one could survive those flames, yet there it was just for a second. No one ever found a body, no survivor was pulled from the wreckage, and the house burned to the ground. So, what walked through the fire that night? Some say it was just a coincidence. Others believe she never left. Number 2. He just wanted to film wildlife near the woods. What he captured instead still haunts him. A man living near a forest in Eastern Europe set up a trail camera to monitor animals at night. For weeks, nothing unusual appeared, just deer, raccoons, the occasional fox. But then, one night, the camera caught something else. The figure is tall, pale, and completely hairless. It moves in a strange, jerky way, almost like it's learning how to walk. Its limbs are long, thin, and unnatural, and worst of all, it doesn't seem to notice the camera. Or maybe it does, and just doesn't care. The creature walks slowly between the trees, its white skin glowing faintly in the infrared light. No eyes visible, no face, just a blank humanoid shape in the dark. The footage went viral. Some said it was a skinwalker. Others mentioned ancient forest spirits. A few even suggested genetic experiments gone wrong. But the man who placed the camera, he moved out. He never set foot in that forest again. Because whatever that thing was, it wasn't an animal. And it definitely wasn't human. Number 1. It looks like a still frame from a horror film, but it was caught by a real doorbell camera in broad daylight. A woman appears suddenly, barefoot, moving strangely toward the front gate. Her body is thin and tense, her clothes loose, her head nearly bald. But it's her face that truly unsettles everyone who's seen this footage. She stares straight at the camera with a disturbing expression, mouth wide open, showing her teeth, frozen in place. Not laughing, not speaking, just frozen. Like something trying to imitate a human smile, and failing. She paces, grips the bars of the gate, and even begins to climb it, almost like an animal. There's no audio, but the silence makes it worse. Her expression never changes. She doesn't blink. She doesn't speak. She just stares and moves like she doesn't belong. Neighbors say they'd never seen her before. No one knows where she went after, and no official statement was ever made. But the footage remains online, and the face she made is burned into the minds of those who watched it.